Hello everybody. Welcome to another Live2D quick tips. Today I'm going to be showing you how to add just a little bit more life into your Live2D models. And to do so, I'm going to show you how to do body bounce. And what body bounce is so you have your normal physics, just like this. But if you notice, once the model stops moving, she just immediately goes back to her default position. There's no sort of, how do I explain it? So in real life, we don't just immediately, like, we're not robots. Most of us aren't robots. We can't just immediately go back to our default state without any sort of extra movement. So what I'm going to do is just add a parameter to add a little bit of bounce. And it's the easiest thing to do, and in my opinion, it's one of the easiest ways to make your model look more alive. So let's get into it. Okay, so forgive my super messy menu right here. I moved over the deformer so that I wouldn't have to move my head, but what you have to do is take all of your deformers, add a new one, call it body bounce, or you can call it whatever you want, but I'm calling it body bounce, and it's gonna be the new parent deformer to everything else. Make sure your deformers are actually visible so you can actually see and edit the deformer. And this deformer being on top of everything else, it's going to completely control the entirety of the model. And seriously, I promise you, this is the easiest thing you'll ever do. So go ahead and make a parameter. It could be anywhere. I'm just going to put it at the very top. And I'm going to call this body bounce X. Body bounce X. And the ranges don't seem to matter that much. I'm sure there's a specific reason why you do different ranges for different parameters. I like to do -10 and 10 whenever I do anything physics-wise. I don't really have an answer for why, it just works for me. So you could try -30 and 30, you could try -1 and 1, just experiment. That's the best way to learn things, in my opinion. In my opinion, is just to experiment and fail and try again. So we have our body bounce X, param body bounce X, click OK, and it's gonna bring us to the bottom. That's fine. So we do we make 3 keyforms, just like a normal X and Y physics. And you could probably see where I'm going with this, but what we need to do is make the model move very slightly to the left and the right. And it's gonna look weird, so don't worry about that. It's not gonna look normal. It's definitely gonna look weird, and you don't want your body to move like this normally. But trust me. So make a new parameter and call this one body bounce Y. Do the same thing, param body bounce Y, -10, 10, click OK, and make 3 more keyforms. And then, of course, since this is Y, we're gonna wanna do up and down. And it's up to you how much you want the model to move up and down. I'm not gonna go crazy. That seems fine. And then make sure you do up as well. All right, and now you link these parameters. Make sure that you don't have any individual parts selected. You just have the body bounce deformer selected, and then click synthesize corners. Just like you would do any other X and Y parameter setup, it's the same thing. And so now we have some bounciness. And yeah, it looks very strange right now. But what you want to do now is open the physics menu, and we need to add the bouncy physics to the model. So go to add, body bounce. Let's start with body bounce Y. And I'm going to put body Y for this. Make the effect 100. Add a pendulum. And then add the, where is it? I have a lot of physics on this model, so it's kind of hard to find things. But let's go to body bounce Y once I actually find it. Okay, there it is. It was hiding. All right, so click on body bounce Y. Okay. And you can notice it a little bit right now. Let's up the scale. Zoom in a little. And you can see now, when I go up and down, when I move the body up and down, there's a little bit of bounciness to it. So I don't immediately just go back to default position. I actually bounce a little bit before getting there. And in my opinion, this is a really small thing, but I think it makes the model look a lot more alive. So let's also add this for body bounce X. I'm gonna say body bounce XZ because I'm going to make this work for the X and the Z parameters. Body X, body Z. And this says position and angle. I had some questions before about if you, like, say if these both said position, you can't have the effectiveness be 100 for both if it's both position and angle. So what you would have to do is split it either 50-50 or however you want to split it. It doesn't seem to have too much of an effect, but I find that for Z, you could just do angle anyway, and so then you can have 100 and 100. So let's add another pendulum. Body bounce X. Change that scale. And it's not working. Why isn't it working? Oh, because this is body Y. There we go, and now I am bouncing all around. And this might be too much bounciness for you. I really like it. I like this amount of bounce, but if you don't like that amount, you can always lower the scale. So you could just make this scale 1, and then she won't bounce as much to the left and the right. You could also change the shaking. So for example, for Y, if you only want her to bounce, or if you only want your model to bounce like once, like one little bounce, you can change the shaking to 0.9, and then it'll be like a much quicker bounce. That is the end of this short little tutorial. I think it makes a big difference. It's not, I know it's not the most flashy, but it's one of those things that it just adds a little something something. And I'll show you a before and after on the screen right now. And that is all for today. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I also wanted to say thank you so much for over 700 subscribers. You guys are nuts, and it really makes me so happy that my videos can be so helpful for you. I will be doing more longer form tutorials, such as I'm planning on doing a head angles and body angles tutorial. I'm not sure when that is, can't make any promises. I kind of have a lot going on right now, but you can look forward to that sometime in the future, hopefully the near future. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching. You guys all take care of yourselves, and I hope you have a cozy evening filled with stars. Bye!